What's up again, Hollywood Horror Film Club, Ghostface and Michael Myers collectors? Thank you for joining me here on this special video. Today we're going to be doing my spoiler review for Scream 7. It's finally out. Scream 7 is finally out. It finally came and went. Now it's time to start talking about the movie. I really don't do a lot of review videos here on the channel of movies, but I had to do this one. I had to do this one. This is like almost kind of like a conclusion to the new Scream trilogy that came out in recent years. But before we start, please smash the like and subscribe button. It really helps me out a lot in the algorithm. Smash the bell notification to be notified when I go live or upload new videos here on the channel. Hit the comments below. Share these videos with everyone you know so we can continue making more horror content here on the channel. Also follow me on Instagram for more horror content. And let's begin. So yes, guys, last night I attended the AMC Theaters Chills and Thrills early screening fan event for Scream 7. I managed to score myself this awesome vintage looking Scream 96 poster style for Scream 7. It looks great. It even has the date. I know it officially comes out. The movie came out yesterday, Friday, officially, but we saw it at the early screening. It was great. I loved it. It was a fun movie to watch. Also managed to get the popcorn bucket as well, which is great. Awesome. I'll have a separate review video for that, but this is the spoiler review. So if you want a spoiler review yet, click off now because I'm already doing my spoiler review. Okay, so Scream 7, guys. Scream 7, starring Matthew Lillard, Neve Campbell, McKenna Grace, Isabel May, David Arquette, Mason Gooding, Asa German, Anna Camp, Courtney Cox. Who else is in this? Courtney Cox, Scott Foley, Jimmy Tatro, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Michelle Randolph, Joe McHale, Mark Consuelos, Ethan Embry, Sam Reckner, Roger L. Jackson, Timothy Simons, and Celeste O'Connor. Okay, so we finally meet up with Sydney Prescott again after her absence in Scream 6. And now, let's just read the plot synopsis here. When a new Ghostface killer emerges in the quiet town where Sydney has built a new life, her darkest fears are realized. As her daughter becomes the next target, determined to protect her family, she must face horrors of her past to put an end to the bloodshed once and for all. Okay, so basically, we're following up with Sydney Prescott again. She was absent during Scream 6. Obviously, she's now married to Mark Evans. She has her 17-year-old daughter, Tatum Evans, and she also has her younger daughters that are not in this movie. They're somewhere else with with their grandma. So the younger daughters are not in this. The movie starts out with the Stumacher Airbnb. You know what I mean? It starts out with the Airbnb scene that we all see in the trailers and stuff. You know, that's the opening scene. It's pretty cool though. I really did like it. I like that they showed all the stab stuff. For some reason, I always love the stab stuff. And honestly, it's true. The opening scene was probably like the most fun and most meta it got, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was cool. There's like this fake animatronic Ghostface, you know, you've seen in the trailer, obviously. And there's like what is it called? There's even like this fake what is it called? The people who run the Airbnb also do like fake prank Ghostface calls and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But then the boyfriend is like really like pushy and stuff, and then he dresses up as Ghostface and ends up, what is it called? Scaring his girlfriend. And the next thing you know, the real Ghostface is right there standing in front of them. I guess the real Ghostface switched places with that animatronic from earlier in the movie, or it could have been the same one. And it just rushes at the boyfriend and starts stabbing him in the gut, and then he stabs him through the forehead, and the knife comes out through the forehead. After that, he starts chasing the girlfriend around the house. They start running around up the stairs. She smacks her face on the stairs, and then, what is it called? She's hanging onto the chandelier after Ghostface falls down on the floor, pretending to be knocked out. And then she loses her grip, ends up falling on top of Ghostface, gets stabbed, lands on the knife with her stomach. Ghostface throws her to the side, starts throwing gas on her, and tortures her, and he ends up burning the Mocker house. That's the beginning of the movie. It was really fun. I really enjoyed the beginning. Like I said, I really, really enjoyed the beginning of the movie. And then later on, we cut now to Pine Grove. What is it? Pine Grove, Indiana. Where do they live? Where does Sydney live? Pine Grove or something like that. I think it's Indiana, Pine Grove, Indiana, or something like that. But yeah, so yeah, now we cut to Tatum's room, and she's right there in her room listening to music, and then we get the whole Billy Loomis scene thing going on with the boyfriend crawling into the window, you know, and then he gets kicked out by Sydney. Pretty much everything you seen in the trailer is in the movie, you know. So yeah, he gets kicked out by Sydney, blah blah blah. The parents had an awkward talk about whether they're having, you know, sex already and all that stuff, which was kind of weird. Okay, so yeah, and then next morning, what is it called? Tatum, what is it? She puts on Sydney's jacket before she goes to school, and Sydney, I guess, kind of has like I don't know, maybe she has like a bad feeling about it or something. Maybe she hasn't seen it in a while. That's what she says in the movie. And then Tatum ends up taking it off because her mom kind of gets mad. And then she ends up putting it back on because she talks with Sydney. And then I guess they kind of make up, and she ends up taking the jacket to school. Then we see Tatum walking with her friends, with McKenna Grace and Celeste O'Connor. They really had some Halloween stuff going right there. They really had the Halloween thing going right there. The John Carpenter 78, where the girls are walking back home from school, you know what I mean? Yeah, they had the angles too and stuff. They're walking behind them, front shots, and then the boyfriend, Tatum's boyfriend, ends up picking them up. They go to school, all that good stuff. What is it called? They're at a play. So they're like doing a play. They're like doing a play in their high school or whatever, and McKenna Grace is like the fairy god princess or the tooth fairy or something like that. And they're doing a play. Tatum ends up slipping down the stairs when it's her cue to go, you know, to do her part in the play. She ends up slipping down the stairs. McKenna Grace, I don't know, keeps having malfunctions with the harness that swings her around. So yeah, everyone goes on break for the play except McKenna Grace and her other friend, the guy who works the harness, and they had to practice, you know, they had to get their cues right on point for the play because one of them was off. Okay, so yeah, when they're doing that, what is it called? The guy working the teenager kid working the harness ends up getting killed off screen. He ends up, and this is actually probably my favorite kill in the movie. Guys, this is actually probably my favorite kill in the movie, is this scene with McKenna Grace. So yeah, so the kid basically gets killed off screen. What is it called? McKenna Grace is dangling right there. Ghostface is working the harness thing. He's like swinging her around, up and down, side to side, smacking her into the props, you know, and all that stuff. And what is it called? After that, McKenna Grace goes back down, and she's standing for a second, and then Ghostface puts her back up halfway, where she's like hanging from her stomach now, you know what I mean? And then Ghostface pops up out of nowhere, and he starts slashing her, kind of like a piñata. That scene kind of reminded me like a piñata, you know? She seemed like a piñata, and Ghostface with his knife right there just swinging at her. So yeah, he cuts her wrist, he cuts her like ankle, her forearms and all that stuff. And then Ghostface, later on, like a few seconds later, he stands right in front of her, holds his knife up like this. He holds his knife up like this, and she ends up coming forward, and he ends up cutting her through the stomach, and you see her guts and entrails fall on the floor. That was gory. This Ghostface is violent. He's savage and gory. Savage and gory, this Ghostface. Yeah, it's kind of like on a Terrifier level. And then next thing you know, oh yeah, after that, Sydney arrives. She arrives before the police, and she sees Ghostface just, it looks so cool. This scene was so cool. You just see Ghostface standing there looking at Sydney holding his knife while McKenna Grace's dead body swings back and forth. Oh, that was awesome. Sydney shoots, bam, Ghostface runs off in classic Ghostface fashion. Oh, it was so awesome, dude. I love that scene. After that, you get the cops come in, they find everything, the body, and then they're doing the whole crime scene investigation. The cops are questioning everyone. They're questioning, the Celeste O'Connor, Tatum, her friends, everyone, the teachers, all that stuff. Everyone's getting questioned. All that stuff. Also before I think McKenna Grace dies, there's a scene where Tatum is changing in the changing room, and you can see Ghostface behind her, kind of stalking her, but he doesn't do anything. After that, the town goes on curfew. What is it called? I think the town goes on curfew, and then Sydney. Sydney also has a coffee shop, and there's this weird guy named Carl that goes there that you automatically get bad vibes from. It turns out that he was actually a guy that was released from Fallbrook? Fallbrook, or I said Pine Grove, Fallbrook. Yeah, Fallbrook, Indiana. He's a guy that was released from the Fallbrook, Indiana psychiatric ward. More on him later. But yeah, after that, the town is on curfew. What is it called? what is it called? Joe McHale. Yeah. So the town goes on curfew, and then Joe McHale, what is it called? Mark Evans, he gets attacked in their house because they have like this. They're doing this construction in Tatum and Sydney's house, like in the garage, and it's a huge garage, and there's like a bunch of clear like sheets hanging on the wall. If you've ever done construction, you know what I mean. So yeah, he gets attacked in there. Ghostface is just knocking stuff down, just messing with him psychologically. Out of nowhere, Ghostface comes out from one of the plastics and stabs him in the chest and all that stuff. Presumably he's dead. After that, what is it called? Sydney and Gail conjure up a plan to try to get Stu Macher to lure him out or whatever. And they go on live television and they do an interview and all that stuff. Which it doesn't seem to work at first, but then later on, after the interview's over and Sydney and Gail make up again after they kind of had like a rough moment right there on the interview, they end up getting an AI phone call from Stu again, another one, just like the one Sydney got in the morning in her what is it called? In her coffee shop. Yeah, so they end up getting that call. What is it called? Next thing you know, the kids in the bar, Sam, Tatum. No, Sam Tatum, what is it called? Tatum, Mindy, Chad, Sam Reckner, Asa German, Celeste O'Connor, they're all at the bar. I kind of forgot the characters' names, but yeah, they're all at the bar hanging out. They're trying to do that scene that they do in Scream, you know, where they all get together and try to figure out who the killers are, you know? And then Mindy, like, I don't know, that like, people say the meta stuff was kind of gone, but it was kind of there a bit. Mindy still talked about who the killers could be, and she had her eye on Asa German's character, Lucas. She had her eye on Lucas. I think because he kind of looked like I think Lucas kind of looked like what's his name? Like Ethan from Scream 6. I think Lucas kind of looked like Ethan from Scream 6 with that little curly Gen Z hair and stuff. But yeah, Mindy was very suspicious of him. I think what is it called? Chad was suspicious of the boyfriend, of Tatum's boyfriend. So yeah, Tatum and all of them see the interview on TV, and that's they turn off the TV, and that's when then Stu calls Sydney, and then it turns out that supposedly he's by the bar, and that's when Ghostface starts attacking them. Ghostface attacks at the bar. Actually, before the attack starts, Tatum and her boyfriend are in the car, or in his Jeep. I guess they were leaving or something. Oh yeah, he was gonna take her to the TV station with her mom. And Tatum ends up finding the what is it called? Ben's laptop. And remember he knew about AI and all that stuff. Well, he was trying to see if he was able to recreate the same what is it called, deep fakes of Stu Macher that the killers were recreating, you know, and that kind of causes some psychological manipulation for Tatum. So she ends up beating him up with the laptop until she like cracks his freaking forehead open and he's all bleeding and he knocks out. She ends up running out of the Jeep, and she sees Ghostface right there wiping his knife. And that's when the attack starts in the bar. So then, yeah, what is it called? Who gets attacked first in the bar? Let me see. Who wanders out first? Who wanders out? Yeah, what is it called? Who is it? Lucas wanders out first. Celeste O'Connor's character wanders out to go get a burnt pizza. What is it called? Jasmine Savoy Brown and Mason Gooding, they were trying to get out of the bar, but it was locked. I think, what is it called? Who gets attacked first? Oh yeah, Celeste O'Connor gets attacked first. She gets attacked first in the kitchen while she's getting rid of the burnt pizza. Ghostface is chasing her around. She kind of puts up a good fight too. Bam, she hits him with the pan and stuff. After that, she runs out of the kitchen, and Lucas finds her, and she's all worried, and he runs in as well. And she waits for a few seconds, but then what is it called? Then Lucas comes out, gets thrown out, and he's stabbed in the stomach, and he's struggling right there. And then they're all, and also this scene kind of gave me like a Jurassic Park vibe, because what is it called? Celeste O'Connor's character starts hiding under the corners of the bar, you know? She hides under the corners of the bar, and Ghostface is out trying to look over, but doesn't see anyone. So that kind of reminds me of Jurassic Park '93, the first one, where the raptors are looking for the kids, but the kids are hiding like in the corners of the kitchen cabinets and stuff, so they can't find them. So that was really reminiscent of Jurassic Park right there for me as well. as well. There's a lot of Easter eggs to a few movies in this movie. So yeah, eventually Ghostface finds her though, and he ends up beating her up and stuff. He fights her. He smacks her face on the bar, because she climbs on top of the bar. You know where you put your drink and you sit down. Yeah, she climbs on top of the bar. Ghostface like smacks her face right there, and then she's in front of like a bunch of glass cups stacked up, and he just throws her off the table with the cups and everything, and you just see her on the floor dead with like glass all over her face and all that. And then Ghostface finds Lucas alive, and I think this is Lucas's mom. I think this might be Lucas's mom who kills him right here in this scene. But yeah, Ghostface gets Lucas, drags him over to where Celeste O'Connor is, and then they're like, I guess they had kind of like a thing going on, and he kind of holds her hand like that, and then Ghostface picks up Lucas and stabs his head on like a bar tap, like a spike right there. And then you see Lucas's mouth just spitting out, what is it called? Spitting out beer and blood all at the same time, which was wild. Also, what is it called? Mindy and Chad get attacked, protecting Celeste O'Connor. Well, Chad gets attacked by Celeste O'Connor because she confuses him for Ghostface. She stabs him in the arm right here. It wasn't too bad. So Mindy gets slashed in the stomach, and they knock out for a bit before her and Lucas get killed. After that, what is it called? Tatum is running in the streets of Fallbrook. She's running in the streets of Fallbrook. Remember, there's a curfew. No one around to protect her, help her, you know? And Sydney is too far away to get to her. So yeah, she's running through the streets of Fallbrook. Ghostface, one of the Ghostfaces after her. I think she knocks one down. She hides like in the corner of a building, and she gets like some kind of wood or plywood or something, and she smacks him on the face, and he knocks out. And then she looks behind her, and you see the shadow Ghostface getting up. Next thing you know, she finds Ben, and she finally realizes that he's not a killer, and they make up for a second. Next thing you know, Ghostface, what is it called? I think she knocks a Ghostface through a window as well with Ben. Oh, yeah, with Ben, yeah, but before Ben gets killed, they both knock a Ghostface through a window of a business, and then the other Ghostface comes and stabs Ben through the back and kills him. Tatum then ends up at their coffee shop, and one of the Ghostfaces is looking for her. She hides in her mom's office. Sydney tells her there's a gun in there. She uses it. But Sydney can't get to her in time because she's on foot as well. She's watching on the phone through the phone camera. So yeah, Tatum ends up blasting one of the Ghostfaces in the chest through the wall. So yeah, but obviously, you know, in a Scream movie, we know if you don't shoot a Ghostface in the head, he's still alive, and that's pretty much true in any case. If you don't shoot something in the head, it's probably still going to be alive, you know? Even if you shoot it in the chest, you could sometimes miss vital arteries, you know, that person could still be alive. But anyway, so yeah, she goes out of the room. Next thing you know, that Ghostface wakes up and tries to grab her. She puts up a fight again against him. She knocks one out again. As she's about to run out of the coffee shop, she sees another Ghostface right there wipe his knife. Also, there was she sees another Ghostface right there wipe his knife. I'll get into that right now. She sees another Ghostface wipe his knife. So yeah, after that, Tatum wakes. What's it called? They have Tatum hostage, tied up on a chair. Sydney arrives at the house. Well, she arrives at the coffee shop first, and then Ghostface calls her. Home is where the heart is, and blah. She goes to the house, and then that's where she goes to her house, obviously, and as she gets there, she sees on her TVs and tablets and phones, you see all these AI clips of all the dead, of some of the dead Ghostface, not all of them. You see Roman, you see Mrs. Loomis, you see Dewey. He wasn't a Ghostface though, but he still died. You see Dewey. Who else do you see? I think that's it. Dewey. Let me see. Mrs. Loomis, Stu, Dewey. So yeah, you see them and stuff, and they're all psychologically tormenting Sydney until Sydney finds Tatum outside in the chair, tied up. You know, in classic Scream '96 fashion. And what is it called? And yeah, and one of the Ghostfaces is already right there. What is it called? Threatening her with a knife. And then it's revealed to be one of the Ghostfaces is revealed to be that bald guy, Ethan Embry, the psychiatric hospital worker. Him. It was him. And then it turns out that there was a third Ghostface as well. The Ghostface that attacked Sydney at her house. The third Ghostface that attacked Sydney at her house. It turns out that was the guy Carl. The guy Carl, supposedly he was obsessed with Stab or something like that. Yeah, so he was also working with Ethan Embry. the other third Ghostface. The other Ghostface turns out to be Anna Camp, as we all knew. We all knew that was going to be the case, you know. We all knew that was going to be the case here. We all knew that was going to be the case. So yeah, so there was 3 Ghostfaces, also including the one that attacks Sydney at her house and then gets ran over by Gail and Chad and Mindy when they arrive in town. So yeah, there's 3 Ghostfaces: Anna Camp, Ethan Embry, and Carl. But one was revealed early. So yeah, basically their motive is kind of confusing, honestly. I was just mainly there to see Ghostface, because honestly, don't think the motives or the reveals really matter anymore. But yeah, basically their motive is that, what is it called? Let me see. As you see, it's kind of confusing. But yeah, Anna Camp's character, Jessica, I think it was, that she's obsessed with, I guess, Sydney. And she got obsessed after she read her book Out of Darkness, because that book helped her, overcome her abusive ex-husband, who she ended up killing and stuff. Also, And she also checked herself into the Fallbrook psychiatric hospital, and she hired Ethan Embry's character to create the deep fakes of Stu Mocker to psychologically torment Sydney, because they wanted to get rid of Sydney to make her daughter Tatum the new Sydney, like Sydney 2.0. You know, they wanted to make the new Sydney. That's what they were trying to do. They were trying to basically make the new Sydney for a new generation. Yeah, that's what this movie's basically trying to tell us, that Isabel May's character is probably going to be the new the new type of Sydney for the next Scream movies coming up. So yeah, that was basically their motive in a nutshell, pretty much. And the whole Stu thing was basically just the whole Stu thing was just a lie, you know. It was just a lie, just to psychologically torment Sydney and to keep the killer's identities a secret. But yeah, after that, they start fighting. Tatum gets up. I think Joe McHale's still alive too as well. They pull him out, and he's still bleeding, but still alive. I think he has a knife in his hand, and I think he hands it to Tatum, and she jumps up, and then Sydney shoots Ethan Embry's Ghostface in the head. Bam, he's down, and then Anna Camp's Ghostface rips off her robe, and she runs into she gets down with Sydney and Tatum for a bit right there. And then she goes into the garage where they're doing construction. So there's a scene where they're just looking around for a bit, you know, looking for her. She pops out of nowhere. Her and Sydney start fighting even more, punching each other. I think she hides again. And next thing you know, that's when Tatum and Sydney both blast the heck out of her with a gun. Boom, boom, boom. They shoot her in the face, dude. Like, they shoot her in the face so much that like her face was unrecognizable. It was just a bunch of, she looked like Swiss cheese. She looked like Swiss cheese. She did not have a face after that. And after that, Tatum says, "I'm Sydney fucking Prescott's daughter." That was crazy, dude. That was crazy. It was a cool movie. I know some people had their gripe with it. Like with me, I wasn't a really big fan of the new soundtrack they had for this movie. I like the soundtrack more from Scream 5, Scream 6, and from the older Scream movies. The soundtrack was kind of mid. The reveal, it's like whatever. I don't really care about the reveals anymore or any of that. The motive was kind of weird as well, but it was whatever. It's a Scream movie, you know. So it's I don't really care. It was a fun movie to watch, honestly. I did want to see the conclusion of Melissa Barrera and Jenna Ortega's characters, but maybe we'll get that in the future. Maybe one day we could have a movie with Tatum and them in it as well. Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed Scream 7. It was a fun movie. I really liked it a lot. I'm probably going to go see it again when my friend comes out of rehab. But yeah, guys, go check out Scream 7. Maybe some of you will be disappointed because Stu's not back in the flesh, but I thought it was still cool the way they utilized him, though. I thought it was a fun movie. Like I said, go check it out, guys. And thank you so much, Hollywood Horror Film Club, Ghostface, and Michael Myers Collectors, for joining me here on the channel again for another movie review. Today was my Scream 7 spoiler movie review. Like I always say, please like and subscribe to the channel. Smash the bell notification to be notified when I go live or upload new videos here on the channel. Hit the comments below. Share these videos with everyone you know so we can continue making more horror content here on the channel. Also, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys on Horror Sundays. Take care, everyone.